Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So today we are going to analyze some of my favorite banking stocks and which banks I am investing my money in. Yesterday I released the part 1 of the video where we analyze the entire banking industry, why it is growing, and if you are betting on India's economy, why you should go and invest money in banks. Right? So today we are going to take a deeper look at this analysis and I am going to compare 6 key banking stocks and I am going to do it in a very interesting manner. I am going to compare PSU stocks, small finance banks and major commercial banks, and I'll give you my verdict that which of these am I picking and why. On this video, I am categorically going to help you understand how to do fundamental comparisons between peer stocks. So that will help you improve your arsenal of stock market investing. If you like that, please press the like button. That would make me super happy and it helps the videos like these on the YouTube algorithm. Now before we get the video started, here is a fun, interesting question that tell me which is your favorite bank. Now please don't say SBI. I love making SBI jokes. So on this video, I'm going to explain why do I make SBI jokes. So please stay tuned. Right, so let's get this video started, and first we are going to take a look at whether or not you should be investing in PSU stocks and which is the stock that I am talking about, which I am very bullish about. So PSU stocks you should invest if you believe in the narrative that major problems or major structural issues in the PSU banks, be it SBI, be it Punjab National Bank, be it Canara Bank, if the major structural issues have been solved, then you should go and invest. So couple of very important points about the PSU banks, that they enjoy massive trust. Now if you go and speak with a lot of people, they will say that, you know what, I'm going to open my bank account in SBI or Punjab National Bank because it's a Sarkari bank and there is no way that the government will let my money die, right? In these banks, if something bad happens, government will step in and it will save me. Now this narrative is something that has been built over decades, over generations, right? So people believe in the power of PSU banks. Now the level of trust that they have is unparalleled. This is the first key point. Second is that unfortunately abusing this trust with PSU banks is also very easy because they know that they have very high level of trust. Now if people like Vijay Mallya and Nirav Modi take loans from us and then they run away to UK, it's fine, right? Because it is public ka paisa. What will happen? Nothing happens. Then again, the cycle repeats. So these are two important points that you need to keep in mind, that in public sector banks, number one, the trust level is very high, and number two, this trust can be abused and it is systematically abused at times. So if you are an investor in PSU banks, you must understand to what extent this trust can be abused these days. And we will understand this from a simple case study. Now let's analyze Punjab National Bank and State Bank of India side by side. Now you can see that I am looking at the entire chart for Punjab National Bank and it has gone up and down and the price has been shaking like anything, and right now it is trailing towards its bottom end, 37.5, and this was the price back in 2003 approximately, right? So the stock price is available at a decent price. Now there are a few key observations that you should have from this chart, right? So the first thing that you would notice is that the stock price came from 194 to almost 97.6 in a matter of days, right? In the month of Feb. Now this was approximately the time the Nirav Modi case happened, and since then the stock tanked and it has never been able to recover, right? Now you would say that, Akshat, you know what, okay, Nirav Modi case happened, now why are you talking about it? So now let me show you some of the key things associated with Punjab National Bank. So you can see that the market cap of Punjab National Bank is 41,000 crores, so it's a very big bank. Interesting thing is that the current price is 37.5 and book value is 84. Now this is a very important point that you need to notice, that the stock is available at discount. Now what does book value mean? Book value simply means this is what the price of entire Punjab National Bank per stock basis is as per the accountants, right? This is what accountants are valuing Punjab National Bank as, looking at their books, all the assets, all the branches, all the land, all the other things that it owns. So the total asset price as per accountants is 84, the stock is trading at 37.5, right? It is somewhat available at a discount. Now, why are people not betting on Punjab National Bank? The reason is very simple, that they feel that, what if there is like Nirav Modi part 2 or Vijay Mallya part 3 and, XYZ person part 4, right? So people are very scared about that. Therefore, they stay away from these PSU banks. That's one. Second is that there was a major non-performing asset problem, right? These NPA problem emanates when people like Nirav Modi take the money and run away, right? And then there are thousands of Nirav Modis in India and they take money from banks, they don't pay them back, so that becomes the bank NPA. And PSU banks are not very good at managing this NPA, so this NPA problem is there. Now, if you check the quarterly results and if the financials also indicate a similar story that the bank is not managing its finances properly, then agree, don't go and invest in something like PNB. So let's look at PNB's profits and revenues as of now. So you can see that the profits have risen, right, and it has been going up. It has almost stayed consistent and have been going up from the pandemic time, right? Despite so much pandemic, so much havoc being created, profits are at an all-time high. The latest profit in June 2021 quarter was 1497. That has been, the profits have been massive and profits have been consistently good. So there does not seem to be a fundamental problem here. So I'm quite hopeful that in terms of Punjab National Bank, the price will at least hit the pre-pandemic level, right? So I'm a buyer in Punjab National Bank and I feel that it is at a decent, reasonable price because I systematically believe that the government has made a lot of changes. The NPA problem has had its worst share so far. It's moving towards better. I'm not saying it's completely solved, but things are moving towards better things. Regulations have been enforced. Now the due diligence process that has been established with public sector bank, it is now not very easy for people like Nirav Modi to take loans and run away. That is going to be tough, right? So I'm quite bullish. I systematically believe in the narrative that, hey, bank fundamental problems have been addressed to a very large extent, that PSU banks are going to be on an uptrend. Now, important point to note is that I am not investing in PNB for growth, right? I am not saying that PNB will become the next HDFC bank and it will like 4x its share prices, nothing like that. All I am playing is book value and current market price game. Now, the current market price of PNB hits the book value, I am going to sell it and I am going to go out. I have already invested my money in Punjab National Bank. Now this point is validated if you look at Tickertape's default probability and quality checks. So overall it seems to be a decent stock. Keep a track of the news section as well, that what are some of the key things that are happening with the bank, and that will keep you abreast with whatever is happening with PNB. Now you might say that, Akshat, compare it to some other stock, some other PSU, right? Because same scenario might be playing out with another PSU. So let's look at State Bank of India. So let me first and foremost talk about the financial summary. So the market cap of SBI is very big compared to PNB because SBI has many branches. And here is the SBI joke. So I have an SBI branch near my house. So I went and opened an account because I thought that, it would be very convenient for me to go and withdraw money. Now, like every day, there is like a 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer line to withdraw the money and, get into the bank. So it has become a nightmare. So the point is that SBI is like so rampant. So people believe that this is the best bank in India. Unfortunately, it is not, right? And I'll show you. If we take a look at the financials of SBI, you will say that, hey, this is like a very stable type of a company, right? Or a stable type of a bank. The revenues have hardly grown massively. If you see how the stock trades, you will clearly see a trend. You will see that it just keeps going up and down, right? You see all these waves. So let me draw it out for you. All these waves, right? Take a look at how frequent this wave is, right? Essentially, this is a great trading stock. This is not a great investing stock. Why? Because this is a stock in which you can play support and resistance game beautifully. I have done it multiple times. SBI is probably one of the best stocks for trading, right? Trading means that you're just holding it for a few days, selling it off, moving on. You're not investing in SBI for like 5 years, 10 years, something like that, right? So essentially, if you are hitting this level, right, try to sell it. If you are hitting this level, try to buy it. This is the simple philosophy with SBI Bank. Why? Because the revenues for SBI has been extremely consistent. So in summary, if you are investing in PNB, that's an investment stock given the current circumstances, but SBI is a trading stock. It has always been. Now you might say that, can you current price and book value game in SBI also? Yes. So take a look at this. That current price for SBI is 426. Book value is 309. Now here the book value is lower than the current price. So please keep that in mind, that when you are investing in PSU stocks, you're not investing for growth, right? Now, to invest in growth stocks, which are some good banking sector growth stocks. So this is where we move to category 2 and category 3 stocks. So to analyze growth sector, let's move on to analyzing 2 best private sector banks right now. Now, 2 best private sector banks according to me right now are HDFC Bank and Kotak Mahindra Bank, and I'll explain it to you in this section why. 2-3 key points that you need to remember when you're investing in HDFC Bank and Kotak Mahindra Bank. That number 1, if you are betting on Indian economy, bet on these banks. Reason is very simple, that these are efficient banks, unlike PSUs. Now, major NPA issues are not going to crop up. I'm not saying that no NPA will happen. Of course, a little bit of NPA will happen. But unlike PSU banks, HDFC, Kotak Mahindra, ICICI will not have massive NPA issues. That's one. Second point is the trend. Now, in India, number of digital transactions are going up. Please watch my video from yesterday. I will link it here. Number of digital transactions are increasing massively in India. Black money is getting converted more and more to white money. With these trends, which banks are going to benefit the most? It is going to be these major commercial banks, because these provide end-to-end services. Right from opening your bank account to corporate account to giving corporate loans to issuing debit card, credit cards, and simplifying your finances. They can do literally everything and help you invest your money also in terms of wealth management. They do literally everything everywhere. So with India growing, these banks will grow. These are directly proportional to India's growth. Number two, there is something called as Bank Nifty management. Bank Nifty management means that Bank Nifty is an index. It's a collection of different stocks from the banking sector, and that has a weighted average of different banks, right? So don't worry about the finance behind it, but it simply says that HDFC Bank has a 26% weight in that Bank Nifty. Kotak Mahindra has 15-16% weight in that Bank Nifty. Now that is a massive weight. Now, if people want to move the index, you might have seen that the index for the last 2 months approximately has been trading between 15,500 to 16,200, right? There is a range in which the entire Nifty will move. Similarly, there is a range in which entire Bank Nifty moves. If you have to move either Nifty or Bank Nifty, you have to play around with these HDFC Bank and Kotak Mahindra type of banks. So having these types of banks in your portfolio for growth, it's almost mandatory. So let's look at the finances, and let me just quickly do a comparison as to how the overall development of these banks have happened. So HDFC started out by like 17.86, now it's trading at like 14.43. Kotak Mahindra Bank started at like 7.18, right? It's now trading at 1800. So the growth has been crazy, right? So that's one. Second is that the size of both Kotak and HDFC Bank is quite big. For example, HDFC's market cap is 834,000 crores. For Kotak, it's 359,000 crores. Despite this, look at the financial results. Now they have been able to grow such a massive company, HDFC Bank. The revenues were 101, now it's 1.55. The revenue generation speed has been such massive despite the company being so big, right? Same goes for Kotak, right? If you take a look at Kotak financials, the same thing plays out, right? 38,813 crores and now it's 56,814 crores. Growth has been massive despite these banks being really big. So when you are betting on India's economy, you have to by default bet on these banks. Both the banks are wonderful. Now here is an interesting thing that I will show you, right? So if you do a peer comparison, then you will see that the PE of Kotak Bank is 36, but HDFC Bank is 26.2, right? Now why is that? Because HDFC Bank is already very big, right? It's like this size. Kotak Bank is like this size. So which has higher potential of growth? Potential of growth means that, does Kotak Bank have a higher potential of growth? I would say yes, right? So if you have to bet on growth of a bank, it's likely that from this base to this base, it's easier to grow. But if something is already very big, then the growth rate will slow down at some point, right? So therefore, the PE of Kotak Bank is higher. It does not mean that Kotak Bank is a worse stock than HDFC. I truly believe that both are equally good. There is nothing wrong in terms of owning both the stocks. I own both the stocks. So very quickly, let us do some fundamental checks for Kotak. Default probability very low, quality checks high, growth score very high. All these points seem to be on track. Now, one important point that you need to keep in mind is when you are investing in these big commercial banks is that their efficiency or profitability will keep on going up as they gain more and more traction in the Indian economy. Why is that? Because finance, be it investment banks, be it general banks, anything in the finance industry, as you get more and more AUM, asset under management, the operational cost becomes lower and lower. So the profitability improves, right? So I'll explain it in very layman terms. So let's say that HDFC Bank has to manage only 100 rupees. They will still have to hire staff, they will have to put ceiling fans, they will have to put ACs, bunch of different things. But now they have to manage 200 rupees worth of AUM, hypothetically speaking. Then the fixed cost is the same, right? It will not change much. They will not have to open another bank branch to manage that 100 rupees worth of asset. So the point is that as this asset size grows, the banks become more and more profitable, and there is no reason why banks like Kotak Mahindra, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, they will slow down in terms of growth. You just need to figure out a good time to buy it. So this brings us to the final section of this analysis. Now let's take a look at whether this is a good time to buy HDFC Bank. So the 200-day moving average is at approximately 1451 and the stock is trading at approximately 1500. Now it is not way off from the 200-day moving average. Now please explain me what 200-day moving average means, right, in the comment section. I'll check your answers. And I will also post my answers on the pinned comments and the description box. So the bottom line is that this is trading at a decent price. You can still go ahead and buy it. Please don't say that, you know what, the stock has fallen by like 50 rupees tomorrow or 100 rupees tomorrow and I'm start panicking. No, please don't do that. Stocks will go up and down. You roughly need to buy them, right? Don't set that, okay, when it exactly hits the 200 DMA, then only I will buy it. Please don't make that kind of mistake. That's one. Now let's take a quick look at Kotak Mahindra Bank. So again, same issue. So with Kotak Mahindra Bank, again, it's like literally hitting the 200 DMA. So you can definitely buy it. So from this angle, I would say that both these stocks are wonderful. I do not see them falling too much from this point. And these are excellent investment opportunities in my end. Now, if you tell me that, hey, can you tell me like a bifurcation of banking sector stocks where I should invest, where my money can go 2x, 3x, 4x? Probably, right? This is not an investment advice. You should go and invest in small finance banks. Now, according to me, there are two top small finance banks right now, and I'll explain you the reasons also. One is Equitas Small Finance Bank. I will help you quickly understand about it. So here is what the market cap of the company is, 6,600 approximately crores. If you take a look at its quarterly results, right, the quarterly results have been wonderful, right? It has been growing. Profits have been growing, but you will say that, Akshat, profit is 12, right? Here something went wrong with the profit. No, there is a financing profit issue, right? Financing profit means that essentially when someone pays banks the money, the bank has to pay a rate of interest, right? For example, if I go and deposit, let's say 1 lakh rupees in my HDFC bank account, bank will pay me a savings rate, 2 to 3%, right? So that becomes a financing cost for the bank. Now, the second wave of pandemic had hit which sectors really badly? The rural sector, right? Or tier 2, tier 3 cities. Where do small finance bank operate? They operate in tier 2, tier 3 cities, villages, most. That is where major customer base is. So they were not able to give out loans to these people. Therefore, this amount is negative. This will easily go positive as the rural economy gets back on track, right? This is not the same issue that you will find in Kotak Mahindra and HDFC Bank. So let me show it to you, right? If you take a look at financing profits, it has not gone down to that extent as it has gone down for small finance banks. Now, this is a very important description to understand because your ability to bet on these banks literally comes from this fact that you understand that, hey, due to the second wave of coronavirus, it impacted the rural economy more than the city economies. The small finance banks mostly operate in rural tier 2, tier 3 towns. They cannot give out loans. Therefore, they are suffering as of now. But these numbers will turn around very quickly. Now, let's look at the numbers for Ujjivan Finance Bank as well. So, essentially, what happened is that the revenues have been decent, right? Revenues have been somewhat stable. The last quarter profit was also positive, 184. And this was one of the best profits that they gave. This was not the time when the coronavirus second peak had impacted. But now the numbers are coming in and the bank has made a loss. Again, why? Because of this financing profit issue that I just explained. So the point is that these small finance banks get impacted massively if they are not able to give out loans to their core customer base. What is the core customer base? If you don't understand it, please watch my video from yesterday, again linked here. That will help you understand the entire functioning of small finance banks. Now, the narrative for small finance bank, be it Ujjivan Finance Bank or Equitas Small Finance Bank, is very simple. If you believe that the bottom 50th percentile in India will get more and more banked and they will avail more banking services, you are betting on the right track. I genuinely believe that there is a big population of India that is still unbanked, approximately 20-25%. They will get banked and they will be the first customers for small finance banks. So that is a direct customer group that the small finance bank will be able to cater to. Now, couple of very important points before you start investing your money in small finance bank. Number one, this is the highest level of volatility that you will experience in the banking sector. So if you're not an investor, that is okay losing a little bit of money in the short term and you're okay in terms of understanding the overall economic scenario, then only go and invest in these banks. Otherwise, don't do it. Invest in stable banks like HDFC, ICICI, Kotak Mahindra, PNB and our favorite SBI. No, I'm joking. SBI is only a trading stock. But if you are investing in India's growth, especially the growth that will happen in the bottom 50th percentile of India, then small finance bank can actually grow your portfolio quite a bit, right? So I am an investor. I'm currently sitting on a loss on Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. I'm quite hopeful that it will turn green. So not a problem from my side. There are a lot of stocks in which I sit on temporary loss and then they skyrocket. So not a problem there. That's the first key thing. It will go through a massive volatile journey. So please be okay with that. Number two, please keep a track of news. Now I can't tell you how important it is to keep a track of news, especially with small finance bank, because the news is deliberately manipulated, especially in small finance banks, right? So it's very, very important for you to get credible news from different sources and check it out. So check out Tickertape from that angle. This will help you understand more. I have put the links in the description box as well. So these are some of the key fundamental things that you need to keep in mind. So just to summarize, what are some of the key banking stocks that I'm buying? I'm a definite investor in Punjab National Bank. I am investing both in HDFC and Kotak Mahindra. And finally, I am investing in both small finance banks, Equitas Small Finance and Ujjivan Small Finance. But I'm investing in these different stocks for very different reasons. For example, I'm betting on the bottom 50th percentile when I'm investing in the small finance bank. I'm investing in the overall India's GDP when I'm investing in HDFC or Kotak Mahindra Bank. So that is the rationale with which I'm investing. So please do your due diligence and check out these stocks. That's what I would leave you with. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Press the like button and I will see you the next time.